Welcome to Nerd on Nerd with me, Ellie Kempster.
And me, Liam Underwood. And this is a super special anniversary episode.
It's our 3-year anniversary.
So our second anniversary episode?
No, that'd be 2 years.
No, because obviously the first episode isn't really an anniversary episode, is it? So,
No, you're right. But
so it's our
have we not been recording this for 3 years?
Yeah, so we'd have done an anniversary... Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Wait. Let's think this through. The first year was when we did the erotic fan fiction.
Yeah, and then the second year was the bad idea.
The bad idea. So this is our third anniversary.
So this is our third year. Yeah, this is our third anniversary episode
because we've done it for 3 years.
Of Nerd
that
on
makes
Nerd.
sense.
Yeah.
I was confusing myself.
Yeah, you completely threw me there.
And we're still just as professional and slick as we've always been.
Yep.
So yeah, this is our third anniversary special. Welcome. We're going to do... Oh, honestly, after the palaver of last year, where Ellie did not like the suggestion I made...
Did you like the suggestion you made?
It had potential.
No. Answer truthfully. Not the idea when we did the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Did you or did you not go, this was a bad idea?
Yeah. So, okay, let me just clarify. When we did the episode, it was a bad idea, but there was potential to the idea if people had joined in.
Yeah, but that's... We as Nerd on Nerd should have learnt by now that we cannot rely on people joining in, because we maybe get 2 people.
Yeah, we can rely on Amanda.
Tom will do stuff if it's funny.
Yeah, and Kat if I force her.
Yeah, so there we go.
Which I had to do for this episode.
Good, I'm glad. I bet she really enjoyed that.
Yeah, so after all of this, bitching and moaning about the letter idea that I had, Ellie was like, right, next year, I'm going to come up with the idea. She had all year to come up with something.
Yep. I remember having an idea.
Yeah, do you remember what that idea was?
No idea, mate.
No, so...
If anyone, goes back and listens to our episodes, and I ever mention what the idea was, which I don't think I did.
No, I don't think you did.
Let me know.
But I reckon by next year, I'll have caught up with the YouTube stuff. So... I'll have been able to listen.
Only a year away.
We're currently going through mid 2017.
Don't say we.
I'm currently going
You're not allowed to say we when it comes to the YouTube page, not while you're doing this.
I'm currently going through mid 2017.
Thank you.
So we're getting there.
Yep.
Whatever. I've sidetracked. Look, you haven't come here to listen to this bullshit. You've come here to find out what we're doing in this episode.
If they've put on Nerd, this is exactly the kind of bullshit they've come to listen to.
Yeah. Which might explain why so few come to listen. Anyway, so, to cut a long story short, Ellie had a whole year. She didn't. She failed. She ended up deciding that what we're going to do is culture swap our first episode, which, as a side note, is an idea that I had previously and Ellie said was a bad idea. So, that's where we are.
Accurate.
In this episode, for culture swap, we're going to go and revisit episode 1 of Nerd on Nerd, where it all began, sort of. It's called A Fleshlight.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that. But before all that fun, it's time for catching up with Ellie and me, Liam.
Yeah, it is.
Thought I'd mix things up after 70-something episodes. So, what have you been up to?
Liam, I have done a couple of things. One of which is, I'll just sort of not breeze through. I'm trying not to do that as much.
Okay.
But I went to see a band called Nothing But Thieves. Don't know if you know about them.
Nah, never heard of them.
They're this, not small band, but they were the kind of band that was at festivals, but weren't playing, headline slots. They were playing, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh, no, maybe later than that. That's, real early. Maybe, 4.
Yeah. So
mid-lineup.
So, for someone that doesn't really go to festivals at all, I'm assuming, the way it works is the later you're on, the bigger you are. Yeah,
and it leads up to the headline act, which is the last act on.
At what sort of time is that?
In English festivals, so Reading and Glastonbury, that sort of thing, it's probably around 9:30 to 11, maybe even 9 to 11, depending on how big their set is or whatever.
Yeah. So at 4, you're talking 5 hours before the headline, so...
And probably 4 hours after the start of the day's thing. Yeah. So it's sort of mid-lineup. People will be there.
But they maybe won't be there specifically for that band.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So that's what they were, a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. But now, suddenly, I don't know, they were talking about it, and I sort of looked it up before. They've suddenly got quite big.
Okay.
Like, so this show was at a place called Alexandra Palace.
Yeah.
It's up in London. It's quite a big venue.
Yeah.
And it was sold out. And they were like tweeting about, they were like legit, and I think they were being legitimate. They tweeted like, "We genuinely can't believe we sold this out. This is amazing. Like, this is what we always wanted." Stuff like this.
Yeah.
And so that they seem like quite nice people. I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." I don't like them that much.
Oh, that's.
I was like, I've heard them before, and I was like, "Oh, this will be a my dad and Chuck wanted to go, and they were like fans."
Yeah.
And then me and another guy, James, went as well.
Yeah.
And we were both like, I mean, it was fine.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a fan. I'm never going to, like, if anyone's like, do you want to go see Nothing But Thieves? I'm going to go, no, I'm alright.
What is it about them that just doesn't quite work for you?
So, part of it is that their like, genre that I would put them in is maybe on the, like, rockier side of indie rock.
Yeah.
Okay, so not like, they're not playing like acoustic guitars. They're playing electric guitars. They've got the rock sound going on.
Yeah.
But they feel like one of those, like back in the day where you get like a sort of a punk rock or an emo rock band.
Yeah.
And that band maybe thinks they're a bit harder than they are, or that their fans are different. I don't know. They've got this whole air about them where, like, for example, the lead singer, said, for this next song is a hard rock song. Or no, I don't even know if it was that. He was like almost heavy metal. He was like, this is a heavy song.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, your other stuff hasn't been heavy so far. I'm ready for this. Give me a bit of heavy music. No, it's just average, just completely normal rock. And I was like, this isn't you can't announce that you're playing your heavy song and then play a completely normal rock song.
Yeah, that's.
And his fans were all loving it. They were like, oh yeah, whoa,
this is so heavy.
And then the bit that like really hit the nail on the head for me was towards the end. He was like, this next song is, I want everyone in the crowd, I want you to mosh to this or dance. And I don't know if you've experienced the crowd that usually mosh to a song.
Yeah.
But if your choices are moshing and dancing and people can dance, you're doing the moshing wrong.
Yeah, moshing doesn't really lend itself to dancing.
No, it doesn't. So when you're saying you've got that choice, already I'm like, well, I don't think you want anyone to mosh. Guess how many people moshed to that song, Liam?
Not many?
No, none. Everyone danced. And I watched a bunch of teenagers and young adults dance to the song, and I was like, this is not my cup of tea.
The thing that I think is most, like, I've never seen this, but from what I've heard, because I've been to some live music things, but not a whole lot.
Yeah.
The closest marriage between like moshing and dancing is probably, is it called skanking? No, not skanking. What's the one that you do at like
the one where you like flail around? Liam showing his age there, referencing the old classic live ska.
It's. I don't think it's called skanking.
I know what you mean. I know there is a dance, and I can't remember what the name of it is.
Has a word for it.
Is it not skanking? Is skanking something else?
I thought skanking was like when a girl was whoring around.
Well, yeah, I think that's another meaning of it.
Oh. Yeah, I'm Googling dance to ska, see if there's... Oh, it is skanking. It's a form of dancing practiced in the ska punk, hardcore punk, reggae, jump up and other music scenes. It originated at Jamaican dance halls.
Good, thanks for the fact lesson, Liam.
Don't say nerd on nerd, never taught you nothing.
Okay. What were you going to say about skanking?
That's like the closest between dancing and moshing.
What do they do in skanking? Is that the one where... I know there's moshing, which is you make the circle
and you just jump into each other.
Everyone runs into each other.
Yeah,
whatever.
Skanking.
There's walls where you form two groups, run into each other.
That just seems
stupid.
There's
that flaily one where someone just flails their arms.
Yeah,
in the middle of the.
So I think skanking isn't quite like flailing. It's a lot of like kicking, but it's in time to the music. It's not like you're trying to kick the other people.
You're dancing, and if you hit someone else.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't even think it's like that. I don't think you're meant.
Well, then why is it related to moshing, Liam?
Because it's quite like vigorous.
Okay, so it's a vigorous dance.
Yeah, it's not like dancing.
Okay, well this wasn't vigorous dancing. This was just normal dancing. I saw a lot of people just doing very regular dancing.
What was the like age range of people there?
To be fair, it was very varied.
Yeah.
But I would say it skewed younger.
Right, okay. So maybe you're just not with it anymore.
I mean, I mean that's fine, but even if I'm not with it, I was around for moshing. I know what moshing is.
No, but I meant specifically with this band. Maybe that's why you don't like them.
But no, they're not. They're still a rock band. I think, especially with rock, there isn't really. It's not like kids' music. Like they weren't on stage being like, "I just want to invite her to prom." Like there was none of that.
I'm not interested then.
Well, God, yeah, no, that's your dream.
Yeah, and a synchronised dance that you can learn and perform.
Of course, yeah. I don't. No, they weren't like that. They were a rock band still.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they were like ultra pop. I'm just saying they weren't heavy.
What sort of dancing were people doing in this scenario?
To be fair, it was mainly one guy that I did stare at for that entire bit because his dance was... He was very drunk and he was doing just this like... It was almost like interpretive dance.
Yeah.
It was a thing of beauty just watching this drunk guy just like, I'm feeling this song. I'm not going to mosh, but I am going to dance.
Fair enough.
I think he was dancing near a puddle of sick as well because someone did throw up right next to everyone and there was just this little circle that formed around the vomit. And then people kept walking through it. And then like... Because in your head you're like, oh, what an empty space. How lovely, I'll walk through it. But
no,
it was empty because of the vomit.
Yeah. That's... It's things like anecdotes like that make me think I'm kind of glad that I'm past that like going to live music part of my life.
But that's such a minor thing. Like people throwing up is... it's so rare for someone to actually throw up in the gig.
Yeah, I guess.
And even then, it's the chance of it being near you is minimal.
Yeah, I enjoyed. To be honest, I kind of missed out on the prime like music going which is probably teenage years, right?
I mean, my dad and his mates would disagree with you.
Well, yeah,
seeing as they are still.
But I think they're probably
gigging.
Outliers to the norm.
I don't know if they are, mate.
I don't know, but I mean,
honestly, there are bands where like.
Yeah,
the majority are our age. Like, I think it just depends. Like, so if you go to like Red Hot Chili Peppers gig,
oh yeah, that's one.
That's not going to be that's not going to be 18-year-olds being like woohoo. That's going to be people our age and older who are mostly there. There'll be younger people as well, but
the problem with Red Hot Chili Peppers is I started listening to them when I was in secondary school at like age 14. Yep. So this was before. They kind of had their like resurgence almost when they did things like By the Way, that album, and Californication.
That album was when you were 14. I listened to that album. That was the first album I listened to that got me into Red Hot Chili Peppers. Was someone played By the Way at a summer camp?
By the Way
was
wasn't
like
Californication. I remember. I remember when it came out. Maybe I'm getting my dates mixed up with Californication when that came out. Anyway, the album that got me into them was their like What Hits album, where it was very much their like funky days that they were doing. And Californication was released in like 1999, so I would have been 12 at that time.
Yeah.
I kind of not regret's the wrong word, but I wish I could have seen them before they hit this stadium level that they're at now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it would have been nice to see them in like a smaller venue when they were still like up and coming and still had some of that like spunk to them, whereas now
I think they've still got the spunk to them. I don't think they're
but
I know what you mean. There's something about seeing a band in a smaller venue that is quite nice.
Exactly. And that's when I got into going to music stuff, was when we were at uni in Portsmouth.
Oh yeah, I remember us going to Wedgwood Rooms.
Yeah, that was a nice venue, I thought, for
Edge of the Wedge.
Yeah. I saw a Funeral for a Friend there, which was just like nostalgic joy for me.
Fair enough.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know. There are still musicians I'd like to go see, but they're very different now to what teenage me would have wanted to go see.
Yeah, well now it's like all comedy music for you, isn't it?
No, Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I would.
That's fair. We should go see Taylor Swift. We should do it for Nerd on Nerd.
I think we should.
Can we swing that somehow?
I don't know, but the tickets are expensive as well, because I did look when she was doing her like UK tour, and it's super expensive.
What we need to do is make money
Yeah.
from this podcast, and then do Taylor Swift as a business expense.
Yeah, I mean, you think we've been doing this for 3 years now, so hopefully soon we'll start making money.
At some point.
At some point. I don't think we should stop until we start making money.
The moment we make our first pound on a Nerd on Nerd episode, we're out.
It's going to go straight to our heads. But no, I think we should go see Taylor Swift next time she's touring. Even if it's going to be expensive, we should commit to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why you thought comedy music. I don't really listen to a lot of that.
You went and saw Flight of the Conchords. That was like the most recent live band thing you saw.
I consider that more of a comedy gig than a band gig, which is stupid, but yeah.
I just thought... No, I think you're right, but I just assumed that...
To be fair, if Stephen Lynch comes back to the UK, 100% going to see him again. He was great.
Fair enough.
I can't think of any other comedy musicians. Do you know who I would like to see before they get super big? And they were in the UK recently and I missed out, is Courage My Love.
Yeah, I've seen that they've started doing stuff again, or maybe have just been doing stuff the whole time.
Yeah, I think they've started coming to Europe every year pretty much now, I think.
Oh, fair enough. Someone posted their most recent music video and I was like, oh shit, Courage My Love.
Yeah, I haven't listened to their recent music, which is the thing that makes me nervous about seeing them, because I'd want them to be like, play the stuff I know, not the new stuff.
Oh yeah, you're one of those dicks.
Yeah. What else have you been up to?
The other thing, Liam,
yeah,
is something you're aware of, but I'm going to share it with the listeners. I am embroiled, Liam,
right,
in perhaps the biggest fight anyone could have with.
It really is
maybe the biggest company in the world.
It's like a David and Goliath situation, really.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm there with my little sling.
Yeah.
All I need to do is hit Google right in the eye, and I've won.
Yeah.
Liam, I chat with you when we're not at work necessarily, but usually at work, on Google Hangouts.
Yeah, when we've got some downtime.
Yeah, exactly. When there's a break, when people aren't busy.
Days.
Yeah. We chat on Google Hangouts with Dan Palmer, who's been on the show as well.
Yeah.
And on Google Hangouts, they had a feature where you could draw in a tiny little box.
Yeah.
Not very big at all. You could draw with a little shitty drawing app. And I got, not to blow my own trumpet, I got pretty good at it.
Yeah, I don't know how you got so good at it.
Yeah. Like,
it's weird.
There's a couple of drawings that I'm actually kind of proud of that one.
Yeah.
Like, that was pretty good. I got good at it. Google removed it.
Yep.
I can no longer do that.
No.
And all I want, listeners, is I just want Google to tell me why. That's my goal. I don't even necessarily want them to bring it back. I just want them to tell me why it's gone.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
No, I think it's completely fair. So, what I've been doing is every day, apart from a couple of days that I've accidentally missed, I have been tweeting Google just to get a response. That's all I want. Even if they said, it's just gone, get over it, I'd be like, yeah, fine.
Now, you have been getting responses.
I have. Not from Google.
No.
I've been getting responses from other people annoyed that Hangouts drawing has gone.
Yeah.
I've been invited to a couple of groups that I've joined.
Yeah.
Like internet groups, not like real life meetups. Not like Google Hangouts drawing anonymous.
Yeah.
I used to be an addict. Where is it? I've had someone tweet me from... I don't know what they are. They're almost like a brand ambassador for Google Education or something.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know who she is. She's helpful. Like, she's not a dick. She's been quite nice. She was like, oh, have you tried, messaging them feedback? And I was like, well, I'm tweeting them every day. And also, yes, I've left them feedback.
Yeah. The thing is, you have since found a new drawing tool.
Yeah, I've been using Adobe Illustrator. I've gone from the simplest of tools to learning a much more complicated one.
And you seem to be enjoying it.
I am.
The thing that annoys me about this whole thing, and I've said this to you several times before, is I want you to start doing, like, a daily comic, and you refuse.
No, I don't refuse. I want to do one. The problem I have is, one, I can't do a daily comic, because I can't guarantee that every day I will have enough time to do a drawing. Yeah,
but when you can. Best effort.
The second issue I have is that when I do these drawings, usually the old ones in Google Hangouts would be someone said something in the chat that made me think, like, for a bad example, I don't remember what we were talking about, but someone said butter and misspelt it butler or something. So one of the Google drawings I have is a little slice of butter on a plate wearing a butler suit.
Yes.
I don't know why I did that, but I did that. And I spent my time doing that. So the issue with a comic is I'd have to have an idea, and then I'd have to every day be like, what's the next part of this idea? Whereas much...
What I'm thinking, the way I picture it, right, is you do exactly what you're doing, where you have these, like, they're very spontaneous, but over time, you start, like, linking them. So, like, maybe a character from a few weeks ago suddenly appears in something that relates to what is happening that day. So it's not necessarily like each one it's an ongoing story. It's just when you put it together, there can be links from time to time. Does that make sense?
I guess I'll try that, Liam.
Like maybe your little King Cucumber could appear in the background of one. I'm helping.
I guess he could.
I'm helping.
Thank you.
That's all right. Don't worry.
But yeah, that's all. I'm just embroiled in a battle with Google. So if anyone wants to help me out, retweet my daily tweets.
And I think you should create a Twitter account for these daily comics and put them on Twitter every day. Well, best effort.
Right, fine, maybe. We'll see.
But also, I think you should keep using Illustrator, because your stuff in Illustrator looks better.
It does. Illustrator does some shit that makes things look better. When you're drawing, it doesn't smooth the line, but it if you draw an accidentally messed up bit, it sort of does a smoothing effect, and you can tweak the lines you've already drawn, which you can't do in Google Hangouts.
What you basically need is now for Google to buy out Adobe so they can incorporate Illustrator.
Yeah. Maybe that's why it's gone.
They could be doing the long game. Could be like the whole Marvel Netflix stuff. Maybe that's all disappearing for a bigger reason that we currently can't see. Probably not.
Don't know if it is.
No, I'm not sure.
That's been my life for the last however long.
Okay.
What have you been up to?
So still just getting the house sorted. I
completely forgot to talk about something, but I guess you'll talk about it. So
Black Friday happened.
Yep.
And I got excited.
Yeah.
So
sort of as you do.
We discussed in the past about virtual reality.
Yep.
And PlayStation virtual reality, to be specific.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of went off of it for a while, and then a new headset came out that didn't really offer a lot of new stuff, but addressed some issues that I specifically were having. And it was for a good price in the Black Friday deals. So I bought it, and I bought a few new VR games, and I've got way back into VR now. Like
good.
In a big bad way.
I mean, it's not a bad thing to be into VR. It is the future of gaming. I stand by that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I'm getting too into it.
Have you, at any point, wanted to get out of your real life and live in the virtual world? Like, say you and Kat are having a bit of a moment. Like, I don't know, you haven't... Yeah. You've just sort of stripped off your clothes. You're standing there naked, and you're like, "Kat, wash me!" And then Kat's like, Liam, I'm busy. It's the middle of the day. I'm at work.
Yeah.
Have you ever then just been like, I want to escape into my virtual world? Basically,
yeah. Not that exact scenario, but yeah.
Pretty close, though.
Exactly. So, I've been playing... So, I got this new headset. I got a few games bundled in with it. I got Astrobot, which, as you know, I'm a big fan.
You won't shut up about.
I won't. Okay, listeners, I really want Ellie to play this game. I think she'll like it. She thinks it's funnier if she doesn't.
I do think that's funnier.
And it's annoying for me, because I know she'd like the game.
But you also know that it's funny.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, like, it's a good game, but because she won't play it, I've now had to basically oversell it. So even if she did play it, probably wouldn't live up to the expectations.
Which is maybe the best punchline to the joke, is after, like, half a year of not playing it, I eventually play it and I'm just like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I've also played a game called Farpoint.
That was like one of the early ones, right?
It was early-ish, and
that wasn't like an insult to the game.
No,
it was quite early doors.
It came out in like the first sort of like slew of games. I think it came with a gun controller.
Yeah,
it's really fun, but also it's the first game in VR that's made me feel a little bit nauseous.
Oh, okay.
Because you do the basic setup for this game is you crash land on a planet and you're tracking these holograms of people that... I explained this badly. People crash landed on a planet and you're tracking their holograms trying to catch up to them.
Okay.
So picture you're standing in a room with a headset on holding a gun, but you use a thumbstick on the gun to move.
Yeah.
So your character is walking around this planet, but you're not actually moving. And also, like, you're going like up and down hills. There's like big sort of gorges that you can walk up to and look into. It really it trips my stomach.
Okay.
Also has these horrible little crab things that like burrow out of the ground and jump at your face, which is not fun.
No, that's understandable.
An issue I sort of have with VR, well, it's not really an issue, but to me it suddenly feels like with games, I find if I persist and practice, I eventually get not necessarily good, but adequate at most games.
Okay, yeah.
With VR, it's like such a whole new skill set that you have to employ to get good at it.
Yeah, you're no longer like learning how quickly you need to move the thumbstick to do a certain move to shoot someone. You're now actually having to move to shoot someone.
Yeah, so the skills involved feel a lot more tied into your natural skills as a human, and that's a struggle for me. Yeah,
no, Liam doesn't have real life skills.
No, well, like shooting things. I don't have particularly good aim.
Nope, fair.
So yeah, But it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm playing VR Tetris.
That's the one that... I mean, I feel like it's almost a waste, Liam.
Yeah.
It's almost a waste, isn't it, of your VR kit? That you've taken VR and you're playing Tetris.
It's so nice, like, to just unwind at the end of a long, hard VR session. You know, I've been saving astrobots, I've been exploring planets. What's a boy to do after all that? Play a bit of Tetris.
Is it literally just Tetris?
What do you mean?
Are there any different, like... Well, because if it's VR, right, in my head I'm like, well, maybe they could have added an element of, like picture a Tetris screen. They could maybe have added an element where you're playing it, like, round two edges. So it's like, oh, I'm looking at this side, but I can move it round to there. Would be incorporating VR. It's literally just one.
So it is fun, so...
Yeah, it's Tetris, Liam. Everyone knows Tetris is fun.
But let me try and explain.
It's not VR.
Let me try and explain, right? As you move the bricks,
yeah,
the tone of the music sort of changes.
Okay.
So you've got like this nice background music playing, and then as you like
rotate them,
it sort of changes a little bit, and then if you like do the bit where you make the brick immediately fall down, it sort of speeds the music up a bit, right? But then in the background, so take one of the early levels, it's like sea themed. So you've got nice like nautical music playing.
Yeah. And
in the background, you've got like dolphins swimming, but they're made out of like stars. And when you like make a good thing happen, they sort of fly around you. I think I'm selling this to you. It only costs like 30 quid.
Does it really? No,
it was more expensive than it should have been. Really,
Liam, why did you buy Tetris?
I thought it'd be fun.
I can see why you're playing it, because you're just like, fuck me, I spent 30 quid on this.
Yeah, there was one level that was awful. It was like this Western themed level, and like the bricks just looked stupid, and the music. Sometimes this is the problem when the music is quite tied into the game.
Yeah,
each round has very different succinct music, but every now and again you get one where you're just like, oh, this is shit. So you're just like desperate to get through that round as quick as possible. But then there's others that are really good. There's some like sort of like neo-noir type rounds. I don't know. It's
honestly, mate, I'm not buying it. So
I don't think you should. It's fun.
No, I won't.
I think you should play it when you visit next.
Yeah, just so I want to experience the star dolphins flying around me because I did a good thing.
Yeah, it is quite fun. But it is also Tetris.
Yeah.
There's no escaping that.
Getting around that. It's just Tetris.
It's just Tetris.
Straight up Tetris.
So yeah, I've been escaping into a virtual reality world. That's been fun. Also had a board game weekend.
Yeah, who came to that?
You did.
Yep.
So you came and stayed over.
Yep, I came down
in the
Saturday.
new house.
Yeah, I'd slept on something that wasn't a slowly deflating airbed.
Yeah, I think you preferred the slowly deflating airbed. In all honesty,
I don't know. I really liked the futon.
Okay.
Futon. I don't really know.
Did you wake up without like back problems?
Yeah, it was fine.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah, whereas like I used to like the airbed, but I would wake up and be like, "Oh, my back hurts."
Yeah. So you've seen the new house and also the new area we're living in.
Yep.
The house is good, right? But like the
house is better than your old house.
The area doesn't have Mitros Natros nearby. So
listeners, I don't. I'm assuming you either remember this or you might not have heard back this far. I don't remember how long ago it was, but when Liam was looking for a house, I think we spoke about it on the episode on the podcast. But Liam had a list of criteria which I would describe as fucking stupid, because his criteria are things like there has to be a cinema. Yeah, you're like, okay, that's fine. Has to be a cinema. Pretty much everywhere is within driving distance of a cinema. Doesn't have to be a cinema. It has to be a cinema. How close, Liam? It was very specific. It was like within a 10-minute drive.
10 to 15.
Which is fucking stupid. That's just so specific. It had to have a gym within, not walking distance, was it? That was still driving?
Within a 5-minute drive.
See? These things, it's such a specific criteria.
Well, 5 to 10 minutes.
And then now he's moved somewhere because he couldn't find anywhere with those criteria. So
no, I did find somewhere with that criteria. Sorry. Where we are now fits most of the criteria I had. So I'll run you through the criteria. Cinema within a 10 to 15 minute drive, gym within a 5 to 10 minute drive, a nearby HMV, and a nearby comic book shop. The only thing we don't have here is the comic book shop. All the others are ticked.
Yeah.
But we don't have... The thing is, with this area, it doesn't have the charm of Chichester. It doesn't have a Mythos Naturos nearby that you can walk to.
When Liam says the charm of Chichester, I've been through Chichester. The only thing he wants is Mythos Naturos. The rest of Chichester, no offence to anyone living in Chichester, is kind of shit.
It's a city.
It's barely a city.
It's a city. It has all the things you'd want from a city.
It was... Someone was living in Chichester town and went, I wish we were a city. And then someone went, let's just build a cathedral. And then that was it.
That's all it needed.
It's such a small city.
It is a small city, and
there's nothing in it.
I was actually discussing this with Kat yesterday. I was saying this
is old people.
One of the things I liked about Chichester is because it was so small, it was easy to kind of like start to kind of get to know people. Like I'd go to...
Who did you know in Chichester?
The comic book shop
Other than
owners.
the comic book shop people.
Some of the people that worked in the cinema, we got chatting to them because we went to a quiz and we really enjoyed it, so we got chatting to them. They were actually really disappointed that we couldn't make the second quiz because it was literally the day after we'd moved. So there was people there that we got chatting to. I think there was a couple of people that worked in HMV that like knew me enough to nod at me when they saw me.
That's not good.
I liked it. Now...
Here's the thing, Liam. You can still do that.
How?
Well, how long did you live in Chichester?
3 years.
So, live in Basingstoke for 3 years.
Yeah, but...
And then just do the same shit you were doing, like religiously going to HMV. And eventually, Liam, the staff will go, oh, there's that guy that spends too much money here. Nod.
Yeah. He likes his 5 for 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I feel like you can't compare 3 years of living somewhere and slowly getting to know people with being in Basingstoke for what now? Like
a month. Although...
A month. And being like, people here, I just don't get to know them as easily.
I did go back to that creepy board game shop, which we'll discuss in a minute.
It wasn't creepy.
Well, okay, how would you describe it if you're
not creepy, just slightly quiet. I wasn't creeped out. I wasn't sitting in there like, oh my god.
Didn't at one point you say you thought I might be taking you to somewhere where you'd get murdered?
No, I think you said that.
Oh yeah, possibly.
You don't like industrial estates. I'm fine with
Yeah,
them.
it's this board game shop that's just randomly on an industrial estate. I went back there yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think I met the owner.
Okay.
He was a really nice guy.
Yeah, well, I think the problem we had was we went on a Saturday.
Well, yesterday was a Saturday.
Yeah, but you've got... I feel like on Saturdays you've got your Saturday staff in, right?
Yeah.
And then if you're doing anything, it's only the Saturday staff. And
Yeah,
I think the lady that was there, I think she's somehow tied to the owner.
I think she's married to him because...
I think she was covering for him that day. I think it was like, we need someone in the store, can you do it? So she didn't know what the fuck was going on with the games.
So yeah, no, I met the owner. Really nice show. I asked him about doing Friday Night Magic, and he was like, oh yeah, come on Friday night, we do Master and Commander. And I went, I'd never really played Magic before, what does that mean? And he went, come on Tuesday night, it's casual night.
There you go.
So, I need to get a deck.
But that's what you were asking for.
Exactly.
Anyway, was a night that wasn't... Or you were annoyed because Friday Night Magic is more intense and you didn't like that. But that's because it's the pro people who are like...
Exactly. So,
yeah.
The thing is, I want to go, I'm always nervous, like going into like that sort of thing as like a fresh fish sort of thing. Everyone else already knows each other. You don't really... I don't know, it just makes me a bit nervous. I wish I had like a friend that lived locally that could come with me. But Kat refuses. Kat refuses to. I've asked.
I know she does.
I've asked Livid. But yeah, the area's okay. The house is all right.
The area's fine. The house is good.
So you stayed over on a Saturday night. We went into town, did a little bit of shopping. What I went and bought yesterday at the board game shop was the next expansion for... I call it Battle Wizards, but that's not its actual name. It's like Epic Spell Wars or something.
Yeah.
So we got the next expansion for that ready to play next time. We just did some games on Saturday night, didn't we?
Yeah, we played Hidden Agenda on the PS4.
Yeah, which
is weird, but quite funny when you're playing it with friends.
I want to play it again, but the competitive one.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess next time I'm down we could try it.
Yeah, just to see what it
is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I found out. So I was looking at the different trophies you can get.
Yeah.
And there's like huge story things that we like. The main character can die in several different ways.
Yeah. We could have that bit where you two overruled me, where I was like, "Let this bad man go." That would have definitely triggered a whole other story happening.
Yeah, there's one where she can get burnt alive.
Yeah, we fucked up, Liam. We had a shit story.
Well,
we honestly. So listeners, this game is like almost that kind of like choose your own adventure style computer game where like you choose what the characters do, and it slowly develops.
It's just lots of like
Detroit Become Human, which is still one of my favourite games.
Yeah, this is probably not as good as that.
No, it isn't. But when we played it, it very much felt like there were whole sections where, like, the way we had played, I don't think was any way that anyone had ever been like, someone will make these choices and go through the story. Because ours had whole sections where, like, someone would very angrily be like, oh my god, I can't believe you've done this, and then it would cut immediately to them being like, so anyway, let's move on to the next case. And I was like, oh, there's like, something's been cut, like, there's a bit of this story that we didn't trigger.
Yeah.
But because we didn't trigger it, it's actually almost fucked up this part of the story, because it just doesn't really fit properly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the ending, our ending was just bad. Our ending was just like, and it's done, you win.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty bad. I think it's because like we were playing predominantly to try and get two of the female characters into a relationship together.
No, Liam was playing predominantly to get two of the female characters into a relationship. I was playing to fall in love with the bad guy.
Yeah.
And Kat was just sort of desperately being pulled by either side. Every time she sided with Liam, I'd complain. Every time she sided with me, Liam would complain. Kat couldn't win.
No, story of her life, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, we played a couple of other, like, so that game was called, like, Playlink, where you play through your phone.
Yeah.
And we played a couple of... It's the first time I played any Playlink stuff.
Some of them are really good. I really like the quiz ones.
Yeah.
I think they're really fun.
We also tried a bit of SingStar.
SingStar's abysmal. Don't buy it.
No.
You don't have to, it's free, but you have to pay for the songs. Don't do that.
No. They have some free songs. Well...
Demos.
Yeah, all of that.
15 seconds of Avril Lavigne.
Ridiculous. Utterly shite game.
Yeah, don't get it.
So then on the Sunday, that's when the real board game day began.
Yeah, we had, or you had, I don't know, I say we, like I live there too. Dan, Tom and Frankie all came round.
Who listened to the show, I believe?
Yeah.
So
Tom and Frankie have never met you before, but have played role-playing games with you.
Yeah, over Skype.
Dan has met you once or twice, and has been a guest on the show.
Once.
Yeah, Woking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, very much like a what's the word? Trial by fire of meeting some of your friends.
Yeah, because we're playing board games, and if anyone's going to fall out in board games, if anyone's going to fall out, it's going to be over board games.
Yeah. I mean, we did quite deliberately try and pick board games that were more cooperative.
Yeah.
You know, I think it might have been a different story if we'd have played something like Resistance.
Yes, that's true.
But yeah, so we played a game called We Didn't Playtest This At All,
which is really good. I really like it. As a like, I could see it being when we used to play D&D, like back in the day, when I had people round to play it. We used to like start every night by playing zombie dice or just a really short quick game, just to be like, let's get into the mode of playing games, then do D&D. That game would be perfect for that.
Yeah, definitely.
It's so quick. Maybe like you could have 3 rounds, because some of the rounds are literally like, I played a card, you will lose.
Yeah. I do want to get the expansion to it and give that a go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was fun. Then we played Mysterium.
Yep, which I think we've spoken about on here before.
Yeah, but for anyone that don't remember, one person plays as a ghost.
Yep.
Everyone else are mediums, and the ghost is trying to communicate who killed them to the mediums through like abstract art cards.
Yeah. So you're not allowed to tell them clues. You have to just hope you get cards that will help you get that.
Exactly. That was fun.
Liam's bad at being a ghost. I'm okay at being a ghost. This causes contention in our friendship.
Right. Here's the thing. You say I'm bad at being a ghost, but we still won.
We did. You're not bad at being the ghost. You're just... Your brain doesn't work the same way as most people's.
Yeah.
So listeners, for example, just to give you an example of what I mean, like, I might play a card with boats on it and like the sea to be pointing towards a guy because he's got like a thing that says, makes him a sailor in one thing, and you're like, okay, well I can start to see it. You start to give more and more cards every round. You build up to the sailor. Boom, they got the sailor. What Liam will do is he'll play that card, and the sailor will be there, but it won't be for the sailor. It will be for a woman wearing a blue dress because the sea's blue.
Yeah.
And that's it. And you'll get one card, and then you'll just watch Liam the ghost, who's not allowed to talk, but you can watch him be annoyed that you didn't get it right. And then you're like, well, yeah. At the end, you're like, well, what were you trying to say? And he's like, blue, like her dress. And you're like, no, Liam. Everyone's got blue on them.
Yeah. I'm a good ghost, though, because we won.
We did win, and it was... You're funny as the ghost. I like playing with you as the ghost because it's hilarious that you're so weird.
Frankie got to be the ghost as well.
She did.
I think she probably did the best.
Did we not? She might have. Yeah, maybe she beat me by a couple of rounds.
I think she did
in terms of how quickly we.
But it could also be like we got more used to that, like the rhythm of the game.
It's true. It's hard. Yeah.
So, and then we played Betrayal at House on the Hill. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which we've tried to play in the past. Didn't go well.
Last time we tried to play it, it was me, you, and Kat. The way that game works is you're all working together at the beginning, exploring this house.
Yeah.
Then after you randomly roll these dice every time you find these bad cards. And it's like you've got to roll above how many cards are out of that type.
So as the game progresses, it gets harder and harder.
Yeah, because you're finding more and more of those cards, and then eventually you'll roll under. The game will turn into a different game where one or more players become the baddie.
Yeah.
They get their own set of rules. There's 50 different endings to the game in terms of like what can happen.
Yeah.
So like it's really fun. There's all these different things happen. But the last time we played it, Kat was the baddie. Kat doesn't like learning new rules anyway. Was already not enjoying the game and was just like, I don't want to do this. I don't get it.
Yeah. When she's not enjoying it, and then you give her a 50-page rule book, and you're like, find the right rules and learn them.
Yeah.
She didn't like that. But thankfully this time Tom was the baddie, and he didn't mind learning new rules.
No, and I like that game. I really like the concept of it.
Yeah.
And I think it's fun.
I'd play it again.
Kat,
I think, still is a bit on the fence about it.
I think she enjoyed it more than last time, but she was still like, it's fine.
Yeah. But that was all we really had time for. We only had time for 3 games.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, we played a lot of Mysterium.
I think we did like sort of 6-7 hours of playing in total.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not saying like, oh, we should have done more. I think I think because we were learning like or teaching some of the games as we went, that maybe increased the time of some of them.
Yeah.
But I think it was good. I think everyone had a good time.
Yeah, they did.
So that was fun. It was nice finally meeting people that I've only like spoken to, especially like Dan. I feel like I speak to Dan a hell of a lot.
You speak to him pretty much every day at work.
Yeah.
But you've met him once.
Yeah. So it's nice to spend some time. The only thing that I thought was a bit of a shame, and it's just the natural way of this when you're doing games, is that there wasn't more time to just talk. Like towards the end of the night, when everyone was getting ready to leave, we stood in the doorway talking for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's a shame, but obviously you can't.
But that's the way. Yeah, if you do a board game day, which is what you had advertised, what you should have done, maybe, is been like, come round, and then maybe we'll play some board. Like that's what we do when we go to like Tom's or whatever. If we're playing a board game, it'll be like maybe the last thing we do is play the board game, have a couple of rounds, and the rest of the day is us all just hanging out.
Yeah, but we wanted to do a board game day where we got through some games. I think like
Liam had about 10 games that he can't play because he needs more than 3 players.
Yeah, I think the other way to do it maybe in the summer is say, look, we're gonna have like a weekend.
Barbecue.
Yeah, we'll do a barbecue on the Saturday. And maybe play some games in the
You're
evening.
always going to struggle to get a weekend going, though. I don't think you need to aim for these weekends. Just go for a day.
Yeah, barbecue.
Yeah.
But the reason why I suggested weekend is because the other thing that we didn't really get to do was drink.
No, but then you're not... Tom doesn't drink.
Is there reasons?
No, he just doesn't like getting drunk that much.
Fair enough.
Dan sometimes drinks, but recently has been on a no-alcohol mode.
Was it no alcohol November? Or dry...
No,
dry...
He did it for quite a while.
Okay.
Quite a few months.
Dan does that though sometimes. Sometimes he'll just cut things out just to see if he misses them, doesn't he?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, which I get that.
Yeah.
You drink though? Like a fish.
Yeah, but only when I'm with people. What did you say?
Like a fish.
I don't drink like a fish. I was drinking slower than you.
Yeah, I know, I drink too much. The problem is I don't really drink unless we have people over.
Yes.
And that's such a rarity. It's mostly only ever when you're over.
I feel like half your alcohol is probably bottles that me and you have bought when we're together that just sit in your shelves for the rest of time.
Yeah, we've got a lot to get through.
Yeah.
That's why maybe we don't need a week, we just need a week where we just drink and play games every day for a week.
That works.
Yeah, that'd be fun. But yeah, it was a good time. I'm pleased everyone came and enjoyed themselves. And I'm pleased that we actually have space in this house to do that sort of thing now. Because we were trying to do it in the old house and I think it would have been cramped.
It would have been.
That's what I've been up to.
Cool. That was a really long catching up with.
Yeah.
Considering both of us have only done a couple of things. That went very long.
So, before we finish catching...
Oh, okay, sorry. Sorry, listeners. It's going to be even longer.
No, you said a while back, and then I became aware recently that we haven't been doing it, that you wanted Catching Up With to not only be a place where we can discuss what we're catching up with, but also like if something's on our mind. And listening back for the culture swap to the first episode, I think was a perfect example of when we did used to do this. So I'm trying to make more of a conscious effort to like give you an avenue if there is like a thing that you want to discuss that isn't necessarily something that we've done. Yeah,
which I think we've been doing in the most recent episodes more since I said about it, because it's not so much like it's not so much just random things we want to think about, although I'm fine with that being a thing in it, but it's more like with the fucking gig talking about the heavy metal part and being like, well, that's not what the band's about, and then that means that we have a conversation about, that's what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
So but I think we got into a bit of a rut of being like, here's what I did.
Yeah, but I wanted to kind of let the listeners know that was something that we were doing now as well, in case they were like, oh, Catching Up With has changed.
We're always trying to improve.
I am. But so yeah, if you find sometimes, like a couple of episodes ago, we started talking about like school and teachers.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you find Catching Up With starts going down those sort of roads, don't be surprised.
Tough shit.
We've sort of
That's
planned
what it's doing now.
Liam
was being nice there, and I was talking over him very meanly. And guess who gets to do the editing?
Exactly, but we have planned this somewhat.